If you really want da'wah, you really want to improve the situation and turn people towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you would always be very careful, reflect and ask for advice in what is the best approach. And if you can't find it, don't do it, because you might be causing more harm than good. So brothers and sisters, I want to go through this. I want you to understand something else. And this is directed to us as Muslims living in the modern time, and most of us in the Muslim world, in the Western world. So I'm speaking English, therefore I'm talking to the majority of the Muslims who are living in the Western world. When you give da'wah and you want to command good and prohibit evil, you've got to understand the society and the modern world that you live amongst, and then approach it accordingly. You do remember that in the Quran, Allah constantly tells us about the prophets He sent in history. Each type of people they were sent to, they had different norms, different customs, different mindsets, different moods. So He would send the prophets and messengers in the language of His own people. What does it mean in the language? It doesn't mean literally just their language, like Chinese or Arabic. No, in the language means in the way they understand, in the same customs, mindset, in the same approach that they like to be approached or would listen. So He would understand His people. That's why since some prophets were a bit harsh, others were softer, others were eloquent, others were straight to the point. There were some of them who would approach them through other means, others direct talking, and so on. For the children of Israel, for example, He had to send two prophets at the same time, one soft, one stern. Musa alayhi salam was stern and Harun alayhi salam was soft. They needed both. So we need to understand the society we live in, and mostly in the West, brothers and sisters, whether we like it or not, the modern world, they will agree that you need to stand up together and oppose anything that is universally unjust. So anything that harms anyone else. Alhamdulillah, as you can see in the protest, so many Muslims and non-Muslims stand up together with this common cause against injustice of what Israel is doing to the Palestinians. Isn't that right? But when it comes to individuals in the modern society, individuals don't like being approached. If you try to come and tell them about right or wrong, Muslim or non-Muslim, they're going to tell you, what's it to you, mate? What's it to you? That's my personal life. Who are you to come and tell me that I'm supposed to do this or not do that? Mind your own business. Now, you can sit there, keep fighting it and protesting and making posts about it and making little gatherings about how wrong it is. Or you can sit there and say, this is the reality, this is the situation. You can't check, that's the society you live in. Find out what is a better approach. I've been a teacher for nearly 20 years, alhamdulillah. And I've educated young people. Some of you are here among us, isn't that right? And I've seen them grow and go into society. I was born here as well. I studied overseas, but I was born here, I was raised here. I understand this community and this society. And alhamdulillah, we've been involved in da'wah in all walks of life, all different religions. Ask people who have experience with people. And I can tell you, brothers and sisters, don't fight it that way. The Muslim is like the palm tree. You lean with the wind. You're smart, you're intelligent. We grab books, we learn about emotional intelligence. We grab books, we learn about the art of how to communicate. Grab books about management and business. See how, for example, a manager talks to his or her employees. What is the best way of being a leader? And now take that and use it in your da'wah. Use it in your obligation, wherever it is, where you can help advise someone good and advise someone to stay away from bad. Use that. Use the art of emotional intelligence and communication styles. The pre-modern world of our scholars, of our great scholars, said some amazingly wise things. But we cannot take all of their method anymore, because their method was appropriate for their time. They used to have a khilafah, they used to have an Islamic state with a caliph, a caliphate, where they had literally territories and empires of Islam that ruled in accordance with the Sharia. So their commanding and prohibiting good and evil was on a higher level than ours today. You can't do the same as what they did. So why am I saying that? Some religious people who, alhamdulillah, get more knowledgeable, they go to the traditional books, and that's excellent, but they don't know how to take that and apply it in the modern world. So that's an art. Dawah is an art. So if you know that somebody is like that, and we live in a society where people don't like to be told or approached, then we're going to find a different approach. I have neighbors who are non-Muslim, and my neighbor right next to me, we had 4 different neighbors that shifted and changed their houses. Each one of them, by the will of Allah, we gave them da'wah. But how did we give them da'wah? I don't remember much conversation about religion with them. I remember normal conversation and behavior and actions. They would see me, for example, dressed like this, see my mother and sisters in their hijab. Eid would come, we'd do things, we'd share with them, we'd talk to them, we'd smile to them, we'd give presents to their children. Events came along, such as COVID, we spoke about it. And every opportunity as I got closer, I would chuck in a few verses from the Quran without them realizing. I would say, in our religion we don't do this, we do that. And it generates discussion. As you can see, brothers and sisters, da'wah is not only one way. First, understand the people you're talking to. Same goes with your family, with your friends, with Muslims at the mosque, with Muslims in your neighborhood, with Muslims at Islamic organizations, with sheikhs and imams, anybody. Be careful and take a step back and realize, okay, what's the best approach? How can I advise?